Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to coil stitch. I've used it to trim these pot holders. I really like it because it's quite an unusual crochet stitch, and it's also a stitch that's got a good amount of integrity. It's nice and firm, and it makes a really nice neat trim on a piece of crochet. And also, if you crochet it in a yarn with a sheen, like this yarn here's got a silk blend in, it just looks really fantastic. I also really love the look of it when you do this stitch with a hand-dyed variegated yarn, because each of the little coil stitches, it takes on its own personality. I'm now going to demonstrate the coil stitch on this motif. The coil stitch is a 3 repeat stitch pattern, so if you're working in the round you'll need to make sure that your stitch count is divisible by 3. If you're working on a flat piece of fabric with a beginning and an end, you'll need to make sure it's divisible by 3 plus 1 extra stitch, and I'll explain why that is. And that is because although each stitch is 3 stitches, the next stitch, the first stitch of the next stitch, is also the last stitch of the previous section. So if you come to the end and you've only divided it by 3, you'll be 1 short because you need an extra stitch to finish it off. So that's why you need the stitch count to be divisible by 3 plus 1 if you're working on a flat piece of fabric. So let's get started here. I'm going to demonstrate the coil stitch on this motif. I'm going to join the yarn in the corner. You can do this any way you like, but this is my preferred method. I get the tail end, hold it to the back close to where I'm going to join, put the hook in, pull up a loop, chain 1. And now I'm going to single crochet in the same spot. I'm going to chain 3, skip 2 stitches, slip stitch in the next stitch. Now, rather unusually with this stitch, we are going to be going back on ourselves. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to turn the work to the back, then we're going to make 5 single crochets around this chain. So it's quite important to keep these stitches nice and neat and reasonably tight, because that's sort of what helps give it the look and the stitch integrity. If these are a bit loose and sloppy, you're not going to get the desired effect with the stitch. So after you've done 5 single crochet around the chain, turn the work back round to the right side. You fold down the piece you've just been crocheting. Then you're going to put 1 single crochet into each of the stitches that you skipped. And then you're going to put 1 single crochet into the same stitch where you joined with a slip stitch after the chain 3. So you're sort of going to the left of that, in front of it, with a single crochet. So now you continue on in the same way. Chain 3, skip 2, slip stitch into the 3rd, chain 1, turn the work, 5 single crochet around the chain, turn the work back to the front, fold down what you've just done, 1 single crochet to each of the skipped stitches, 1 single crochet into the same spot where you joined with a slip stitch after the chain 3. And again, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, slip stitch into the 3rd, chain 1, turn the work round, 5 single crochet around the chain, Turn the work back to the front, fold it down, 1 single crochet to each of the skipped stitches, 1 single crochet into the same spot where you slip stitched after the chain 3. So here you can see the stitches starting to form. You can vary this slightly, so perhaps you would like a more subtle stitch definition, or perhaps you're worried that you're going to run out of yarn and you want to be more economic with your yarn for this trim. So you could actually make 4 single crochets around the chain instead of 5. That is an option. I've actually used that option when I was making my pot holders. So this is what I use as a trim on the pot holders that I designed as for charity, to help raise funds for the Mauritius clear up of the Mauritius oil spill. You can find that pattern on my website. Please feel free to make those to sell for charity. Would really love that. I just think it's really great to be able to do something good with your skills.